Yeah, thanks, Mark. He says, Melted Monday stream come true. Hottest ladies in Meltology right here.
Hot Mess Mondays.
Hot Mess Mondays. I like that.
I do too.
Balloon rock here, guys. I like the black and white.
That's a big old clinker rock. And they just decided, hey, amongst all this muffed up brick, we're going to put in this big boulder clinker rock here because it's the style.
Yeah, we'll make it a feature wall.
Oh my God. Clinker fucking bricks. I'm going to clink them upside their heads with their bricks.
Yeah, exactly.
You can see how it once was, uniform brick lines, and this was all bricks too, but they've melted into each other and formed one big glob, and through expansion has pushed these out of shape and misshaping the rest, but still maintaining that.
Yoakum said hello.
Yoko, what's up?
Yeah, hi.
Now this is an old pic. It's very grainy, but for the people that have seen my Hydro Majestic photos and the thing I discovered on the back of this building, like all this brown stuff along here is the melt that's come up the wall. It's been fried. I reckon this is an original building from that survived the X Factor because it's come up the wall. This is but I found this arch attached to it. It's not there anymore. This white arch. When I've been there, it's just been what they call a cave, or they say it got struck by lightning. But I found this old photo and it still has part of an arch attached to it. So whether this was an arch on the back door that's been pushed out and formed that brick cave that I found. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Your average mountain with a tower sticking out of it.
Nothing to see here. It almost looks volcano-like.
And it's not a tree, guys, because we'll have a closer look at this and what, going up on here and just wait to see this. I hope they're in the next pictures, but no, they're not. Sorry, guys. I had it in order, but they rearranged them when I come on. I don't know why they do that.
Mine get mixed up too.
But yeah, remember that one because we'll have a look at what that really looks like. It's not a tree. I'll show you the bricks. Brick patterns in this pavement. This is one of my boots on the ground pictures. Obvious sort of melted footpaths in the bush in Australia. Same thing here. I see this a lot, the melted red bricks along the pathway. And over these overhangs that are, a building, there's, the pathways remain, the steps remain. This is a microscopic, before I show you the compressed brick picture, this is the microscopic one that was supposed to go along with it. But under the microscope, you see that's the stacking, the compression, the flaking.
You like that?
That's light.
Yeah, the heat damage.
It looks X Factor too, doesn't it, Jen? Yeah. This is the landslide that I crossed over yesterday. So the whole footpath's taken out sort of from here down into a very, very deep valley. I don't know how many meters. But seems to be some sort of structure inside, some wall-like thing.
I know, you must have been excited to get out there and take a look. I know I would be.
Yeah, I was, Patty. I jumped down here and there was something very interesting in here, and I was standing here on this, and it was windy, and I was trying to get a picture of what was here because it was like a pipe full of pipe-shaped rock full of brick ash. But I was like teetering on here, and it was windy, and I just thought I could end up in the valley doing this, and so I just ran up here, and I didn't get the photo. But
wow,
Meltology can be risky business.
I've got to be live tomorrow. I can't be doing this.
I know.
Spartan will be so cross with me.
See, this is what we do. It's a study and exploration of melted structures. Exactly. And you are a meltologist, Deb.
It's fun, Jen. It's so much fun.
How long have you been doing this, Deb?
How long? I've lost track of time, but at least a year, Patty. About a year now. Yeah. Yeah. It's been the best time of my life, I have to say.
Yeah.
all of you guys to thank for it, all of you Eagle Eye crew,
Yeah.
Jan and Spartan. You know who you are.
It's an amazing experience. And so many people are coming on board with it. And I think that's kind of what's pissing off these other people a little bit, because they're getting bombarded with other questions and evidences and stuff. And, you know, your mind's like a parachute. They both work better when they're open. And, you know, if we see brick, we're going to point it out. If somebody's telling me something's a tree or a tree stump or something, yet I'm pointing out brick everywhere, well, then it's not a tree stump.
Right.
Trees don't have brick.
That's right.
So, you know, and then you got all these other little theories like the geopolymer stuff and all this other crap and everything, you know, and I'm not bagging on anybody's idea, but at the same time, these buildings were made of multiple materials, not just brick. And there's a lot of components to this melt factor. And, you know, we all, instead of bashing each other, we should come together and help figure this out. But, you know, I see some of these other videos and people want to call us names like meltards and all this stuff while they're promoting their theory and everything. We don't sit here and do that. You know, I mean,
no,
it's just like the evidence is right in front of your face. At least we can agree that these mountains are not what they're telling us they are. That's for sure.
Right.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
And and like you said, John, with the definition, I mean, mountains are mountains of something, and so they're mountains of
what?
Red brick and everything else that's being used for construction.
Right. Right.
Just a little diagram here of a clay particle. It's hexagonal in shape, and they're charged. They have an electrical charge. Everything is energy. But I just thought it was interesting that you know the negative charge on here and the outer edge is the positively charged. Yeah, that was a bit interesting. Oh yeah, this is what I found yesterday. Oh, bricks in the rock, just like that. Yeah, surviving bricks in the boulder in the balloon.
Wow.
It's, ballooned out, and the surface has survived.
Right. And Caro says, speak the truth even if your voice shakes. I love that saying. I used to have that on my Facebook wall a couple years ago, and I forgot about that saying until you just brought it up. So that's a really good one. I love that one.
Yeah, it is.
My voice, when I first started on my journey of truth, which was 9/11 back in 2005, when I woke up to all that, my voice used to shake a lot when I would talk about the truth, because I was not confident enough in the information. You know how you really want to tell people the truth, but yet you're still trying to digest it all and verbalize it. So I used to have that. I used to have that shaky voice, but you know, now I have, you know, the confidence behind what I'm saying, and you know, more organized in my brain, so I can verbalize it to people now.
Yeah, it's fantastic what you do, Jen. The way you communicate is just, it's just great. It's fantastic. Really inspiring, I have to say.
Hey, young love, I'm glad to see you here, girl.
Everything is crystal.
Bricks turning into block. This one's turning into one big sandstone block, but apertures up here, art shaped.
Oh yeah.
Very bricky. You can see a surviving perfect brick in there. But this is what it does on the inside. It cooks out and solidifies into sandstone.
You know what that looks like right there? That column going sideways there? That looks like we just showed the longest natural arch bridge in Alabama, and up underneath of it looked just like this, which we had already decided it was a brick bridge at one time, clearly. But yeah, it looked just like this. Again, they just tell us these are sedimentary layers, but no, they're brick layers.
Yeah, this was built. It's not haphazard layering. This is structured. Red bricks here. You know, it looks like it's built with big blocks, but actually, if you look inside, the little bricks that have turned block. Or being built into as blocks, you know, but they're individual bricks.
Yeah, I can see these are the smaller pyramids, but the Great Pyramid of Egypt, Shapu had shown on one of our shows, there's brick in there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great to see that. It solves that mystery, doesn't it? And then, in my area, this is one of my pictures where I found brick inside. I didn't smash this one open, Jen. I don't have a hammer like you. But it was already, like, it must have, from the heat, exploded out and cracked open. And there's bricks inside. So on the top, you wouldn't notice. But inside, you can see the straight line of the brick.
Yeah.
here, this brick that's a bit morphed out of shape here as well. Here, there's a brick, and there. Oh, what a thrill to see that. We got the bricks here, but the bricks cooked into sandstone on the inside, and that outer shell layer that we see.
Mm.
A bit of an example of a cooked out brick. Yeah, turning into like brick ash on the inside with that outer shell. Underground melted brick arch tunnel.
Look at the colors, huh?
Yeah. And they all have water in them. All these mines have water in them.
Yep.
A bit more with this, but just showing how these are stones, yet the heat coming up or the energy coming up, but not quite touching these red bricks in the arch. These ones have survived, but there are a couple of survivors, but the rest have turned to stone. Melt pouring in from the outside. Sorry.
So yeah, that's closing up there in the arches, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know how we see those filled in arches? I mean, this is rockified ones. We see the brick. Maybe the filled in brick arches still have the brick face on this melt that is pushing through. So it's coming from behind. Now this is just an example of when we see bricks transform and they almost get a woody texture and break down into a lighter kind of porous substance that can look a lot like wood. I've seen a fair lot of that with the slate mines in Wales. The stone actually turns to wood and it looks like wood blocks, very light and everything. Facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored, and people can ignore this for as long as they like. But it doesn't bother me, and I'm sure it doesn't bother you guys because you can't ignore it forever. There will come a time when everyone knows this.
Absolutely.
Sydney, Australia. This is a place called Cockatoo Island. The narrative is that they brought some convicts to this island and they all lived in tents and they made them quarry this stone to build their own prison. Maybe that's why they did such a shitty job.
I bet that's a sight to see, a bunch of criminals trying to keep them all together and all right, you're going to build your own prison now. Get started.
Yeah, and all in tents. I'm sure the convict outnumbered the guards.
Yeah, Oh, brother.
Again, just what I found yesterday, the brick surviving in the balloon rock.
Yeah, that's cool.
This would be a good thing to take a chisel to.
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
Wow.
So many bricks. I mean, we've looked at so many pictures and think about the amount of bricks that are in those pictures. I mean, the amount of bricks.
It's incredible. You can't even imagine. It's just incredible.
So when I had a theory one time. Now, everybody might not agree with this, and that's okay. But, as I say, God created the earth. Well, if God created the earth and there's clay and brick is made of clay, maybe God created the earth in this type of form, like to where it was mostly built with.
I totally agree with you, Jen, there.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because only because a little thing that I found out about the structure of clay is that you need clay to create an infinite plane. Because of its hexagonal shape, it has the capabilities of creating an infinite plane. So if this is made out of clay, basically red bricks, then it is an infinite plane. So,
right.
Flat Earth,
baby,
proved right there.
There you go.
In the clay particles.
Because that was one of the big questions I used to get. Well, who's laying all this brick? And I'm like, I don't know, but it's everywhere. And at some point, you got to ask yourself, well, if God created the earth, well, what does that actually mean? There was water upon, there was what was a darkness upon the face of the deep, and then God spoke the word, and the land formed. But what did that look like? We don't know. Maybe it looked like this.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.